Welcome to a new anime review series. This is Witchcraft Works anime review part 1 of 3. Yep, those of you curious though, what is Witchcraft Works? Well, it's an anime adapted from a manga. Yeah, a manga. That started back in 2010, the anime came out in 2014. And the series was never completed. Well, let's just say they never finished adapting the manga. Nope, they did not. The series lasted roughly 12 episodes. This review, I'm covering the first 8. Yep, the first 8 episodes. And the characters are interesting. To say the least. Yeah. Now, basically, the series is made by JC Staff, a company that's actually a pretty good series, company in my opinion. These are the characters for this series. You have Toriyama, who's the main character of the series. Yep, a kind of basically average height Japanese student, while his female love interest, Akakagari, smoking hot woman, daughter of the woman who actually runs this private school, and she's a witch. Yep, a witch. She wears a robe, flies on a broomstick, and has the infamous hat that witches of wear. Though her hat is red. Yep. Now here's the thing about the series. This whole series was never dubbed in English. It was licensed by Crunchyroll. Yes, it was. But for some reason, no dub studio ever picked this one up. This is by far the first anime series I've come across where there's no official dub. Well, you are thinking, wait, what about My Wife is Duke on Present? Well, that one, actually, I'm not counting as that one. Basically, didn't have a dub because there is a dub coming out for that series. So, I'm not counting that one as such. Yep. Now, there are two types of witches, basically, in the series. They are the workshop witches, basically, who become like the police of the world, and the tower witches. Witches who basically are kind of like terrorists, who basically cause mischief. And the characters of the series are Kasumi, who is the little sister of the main character, who's just a couple years younger than he is. You have Kazan Kagari, who is the female lead's mother, who, by the way, is rumored to be over 1,000 years old due to mentioning one episode where one of the characters she's been friends with since the Crusades. Yeah, I'm not kidding about that. Let's see. Now, the thing with... Now, in the first episode of the series, pretty much you have Takumi, basically the main character series, who sits next to the school princess, a girl who is super popular, and she always sits next to him. And the thing is, the school doesn't know she's a witch, which is kind of a good thing. It's implied, very heavily implied, that the main character is in love with her. Yeah, and basically she's like always around protecting him in a way. Then he gets a mysterious letter to, take out the trash because she apparently also takes the same duty days as him. Yeah, they have to clean the classroom. Yeah, this is something you did not have to do over here. Yeah, kids did not have to clean the classrooms. That was something up to the janitors. Now, I don't know. That might be a common practice over in Japan. Heck, I've seen this in Case Closed, for example, where the characters take time to sweep up the classroom with the students. Which to me makes absolutely no sense. Like, why would you clean the classroom even though you have a janitorial staff? If you have a janitor. Yeah, that makes no freaking sense. It probably is a thing to do over in Japan, but not here. Nope, not the school I went to. We never cleaned the classroom once. We never swept it at all. We never had a particular day we have to clean it. Though things over here are basically different than over in Japan. So he just takes out the trash. Now he was first given big sack of papers, and then Kagura basically comes along. He just takes it, like, okay, fine, and he takes the trash out. It comes across a ear in the trash. No, not a human ear, a bunny ear. Well, basically ear of a teddy bear. And then all of a sudden, a bunch of a army of robot bunnies show up out of nowhere. That's not a joke. An army of robot bunnies. Because of course there is. Yeah. This is where the Tower Witches come in. Yep. Yep, Toppo, who's the leader of these girls. Yeah, there's about 5 of them. There is Tanapapo, Kana, Ren, Katsu, and me. Yeah, there's also a woman named Kanor Schwartz VI. Yeah, an old friend of the mother, the female lead of the series, and she would do this thing where, okay, despite the fact they're friends, she can torture her and then basically play a game of Shogun with her later. Yeah, it's weird to say the least. Of course, also the main character's mother of the series, Kamachi. Yeah, they actually explain this a little bit later, their relationship. Okay, now, basically before the bunnies come out, we actually have part of the school building try to come right on top of the main character, and then all of a sudden, completely out of nowhere, his love interest pops up, and she's like, "Oh, cool, you're a witch." Yep. As the expression, which witch is which. Yeah, not the first series I've seen a witch in. The only series I can think of you have a witch in is probably Black Clover. With the character Vanessa. Yeah, the thing with witches in, let's just say, in Japanese anime, it's not really a thing, basically, a lot of the time. It's just basically, like in the case of Black Clover, or in the case of Fairy Tail, basically, women who have magic are considered wizards, despite the fact they easily consider witches like they do in Harry Potter. Because when we think of witches, what franchises do we think of when we think of witches? Harry Potter, Hocus Pocus. I've seen part of this movie. It's actually pretty good. Let's see. Halloween Town. I'm trying to think. What was that one? Double, Troll in Trouble. Yeah, one American Action movies. I'm trying to think there was any other thing. Oh, yeah. Buffy Vampire Slayer had a witch in the series. The character of Willow. Yeah, witches are very popular in American fiction. They have been for years. I haven't seen a new movie in the last several years basically featuring a witch, but I don't mind seeing witches in fiction. It's never really bothered me as such at all. Nope. But this is also technically the second anime to feature a witch, and some witches are actually considered to be bad guys. Oh yeah, and here's the thing. One of the biggest named witches in the series is Medusa. I'm thinking, Medusa. Wasn't that also named a character from Soul Eater? And this is also the same type of name. Comes from the actual the Medusa monster from Greek mythology. In the case of this particular version of Medusa, that she first shows in episode 8, mind you. And here's kind of the strange thing about this woman. She is more closer to the original Greek mythology than the one from Soul Eater. Yeah, because when you think of Medusa, what do you think of her? You think of a woman who has a blindfold because she looks at a man that gets petrified, a hair full of snakes, and a body of a snake. And believe it or not, with the exception of the arms, that is how they depict her in the series. Though apparently she looks, well, she has, her blindfold is basically very stylish, which, yeah, normally when like in the case of Soul Eater, that version of Medusa didn't have a blindfold. She didn't have the petrified powers. The only series I could think of where a character had petrified powers was the character of Evergreen from Fairy Tail. Yeah. Though she wore glasses in order to basically cover it up. Medusa wears a blindfold. Yeah. So, oh yeah, and because the fact, after she saves him, of course, then of course he's like, oh, it must be somebody else. Nope, more robot bunnies. And eventually they're all burned, and of course he worries about Kagari burning her hair. And, well, she basically claims, yeah, you're my princess. Which is something that's brought up like once after this, and after that, that's it. The whole thing about him being her princess, basically, to me, really made no sense at all in terms of manga or anime, but that's how it is. Oh yeah, he's also brought to her private room. In the 8 episodes I've watched, he only goes there twice. Yeah. Both times at the falling unconscious. Yep. And of course, throughout these episodes, about more witches. Yep. Who one of whom basically the bunny one who has the bunny soldiers go with frickin' giant size. Yep. Yeah, and at one point they're separated. Now here's the thing. His sister is really jealous of him. Like she basically loves Drew. Apparently, like it's revealed in I think it's episode number 5 that according to the main character's mother, his sister loves drooling all over him. Yeah, where she would occasionally sleep in his bed, take baths with him, or give him bonuses when she plays video games. Basically, she loves her brother. Yep. And of course, they bring up the whole beta thing later because apparently, the Kagura basically gets jealous. So after she gets briefly injured. Of course, when she gets first introduced to Kuroda, he gives him basically a device that he does use in episode 5. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Of course, they also, like, by episode 5, they decided to move in together. Mm-hmm. Because, well... Yeah, so... At the various times, basically, him getting attacked, like, Geiger's like, screw it, you're living with me. This is after, basically, yeah, when they decided to have, like, a date together, on a Sunday, mind you, when they met up with each other. Yeah, basically she brought along shopping, and luckily enough that because of the fact it was revealed that this woman basically who found this little girl who lost her mother, basically uses bait to draw out Kagari and Tatsumi. I think that's how you pronounce. I don't want to keep mispronouncing these people's names, so because the thing is in this series, like everybody, a lot of the characters are, except for their close family, are addressed by their last name. Takamiya. Kagari. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kagari basically. Now, here's the thing. His sister basically. Yeah, it was who she actually called him. So, basically, they have these star witches basically decide to take a little girl hostage. Lucky enough, Tatsumi basically has a kind heart to him, so he basically saves a little girl. He protects her from the witches, which is quite smart of him to do. Kagari doesn't comment later about it, but even she knows. She could probably tell. I can probably tell by look by basically her expression. She has no problem with that at all because that is how she is. That's how he is. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, in case you're wondering, is there any flying on broomsticks in the series because there's witches? Yep, they do a couple times. First time, basically, just test it out. Of course, trying to draw a broom, and then he sees a girl being bullied from their school, and well, he really wants to help. It's like not really our priority, and of course he does it anyways. Of course, they don't see them because they're wearing the robes because they're invisible when they wear the robes. So basically, he just knocks them out. It turns out this is actually a trap set by one of the Air Witches groups, and the girl turns out she's actually a close friend of the main character's sister, Torium's sister. Yeah, and when it's revealed that she is a witch, I'm like, okay. Yeah, so apparently on the back of her outfit says justice for some reason. So when Kairopop brings out her giant bunny to take on Toriyama, basically, all of a sudden, her sister shows up with a giant bear. I'm like, okay. And they basically becomes a kaiju fight that ends up destroying a lot of the frickin' city. Yep. And then, of course, she does something similar in another episode where she uses it to basically try to run away with him for some reason. And, of course, Kagura's like, because she knows he does not want to hurt her at all because she's basically Toriyama's sister. So, yeah, she basically goes easy on her, but not in the case of her mother. No, because they cause a lot of destruction. Basically, she's seen being carried by her mother, basically like she's a piece of luggage, and while basically Kagura's mother shows up and just basically says, "Yeah, we should have a talk." Like, apparently, like have a talk. Now here's the thing. It's revealed that when she comes over, it's revealed that Kagura and Tozumi actually engage. Like it's like because like he's goes she just my present hacker. Hacker here is your fiance. He's like what? Yeah, fiance because yeah, it's revealed that their mothers basically knew each other for a long time, and apparently these two were lesbian lovers. I am not kidding about that. And they really want to get married, but they couldn't because they're women. So they figured out, how about our kids get married? Okay. Yeah, and then of course that's when she takes them over to her house, which is this luxurious mansion with a tower part of it. Yeah, and a tower looks like it's about 41 floors, and they're about to get to the floor. It looks like it's her room, and that's when they run into Medusa, who broke out of prison. How in the world they capture Medusa, as far as I know from the chapters I've read, never explained. They never explained when in the world she was captured. It's like they mentioned, oh yeah, she was captured before the current warden of this Supermax prison that she is happily at. I'm thinking, is this a female prison or a mixed prison? Yeah. Apparently she's kept in this like green box and she's basically frozen, but she's able to break out and apparently sent orders via her cell. So she breaks out and the first thing she does is sort of petrify Kaguri's maids. And of course they start to fight, and of course she gets petrified. So Tsusumi's like, Kagami's like, okay, I'll take this thing. Basically, it was given to me a couple episodes back. Swallowed, and what does it bring out? The White Princess, which is inside of his body. Apparently, there's 5 seals holding this thing in, holding her in. So yeah, they fight for a while. And basically, he wants to help Kagura. Basically, he says, "Okay, you want to help her? Give her a peck in the cheek." So he pecks her in the cheek, and she revives. And then she takes on Medusa, and then and then Medusa loses. And it's revealed via flashback that she spared her life and decided to have Medusa and the 5 witches with her go to Sumi's house and stay in her bedroom. Okay, yeah. It's not revealed till later that apparently because the viewers know that they're there. They're watching them. They want to attack them. Yeah, and I thought this was so hilarious. Like you have to assume he's using the bath. All of a sudden, 2 of the witches who are taking a shower. Yes, a freaking shower. They jump out, try to attack him, but then just by sheer coincidence, we actually have. We have Akane basically come back, and of course she knocks out both Taru's mother and mother. I can't understand because she doesn't know about the witch. Why knock out the sister for? That makes no freaking sense. Yeah, and then she starts to fight with Medusa, and of course her daughter steps in and is like, "Hey, why are you protecting her?" It's like, "I have my reasons," and like it's about hearing Chrissy try to use the power again, and apparently use the swap places and apparently swap clothing. She ends up wearing his clothing, him wearing hers, and he gets punched in the face too. Oh yeah, and it's also revealed when he meets up with Karome that if they're far away from each other for a certain period of time, that they have this thing called damage transfer. Whenever he gets wounded, damage gets transferred to her, and she gets healed up right away. They revealed this basically after she stabbed him. Yep. Oh yeah, and she also been stabbed before as well, but her body is made of fire, so she's not be affected. I'm like, she must have a tangible form. Otherwise, though, how the heck is she even touching him if she's made of flame? Trying to think that what else was there. Oh yeah, then they're taken to the punishment room. Yes, the punishment room. Basically a jail cell at the school, and that's of course when Karone and Akane basically are just having shogi, despite the fact she had just tortured her, and of course broke her arm in the process. And they break out, and because I want to do it, but he's like, no, thank you. They're like, why? Because they didn't really need to, because Medusa's not here. And apparently, some other workshop witches took her for some reason. Yeah, I probably find out later what the reason was. Probably because she's like, hey, Medusa caused a lot of attacks in my state, so she's my jurisdiction. Yeah, I'm not sure why, but that's probably reveal a little bit later what the heck is up with Medusa. And she's one of the Gorgon sisters. Yes, Medusa is one of the Gorgon sisters. Because of course, it's like this version of Medusa is. It seems like they're implying she is the monster for Greek mythology. But who knows? Yep. And then of course they decide to start their training afterwards, and I think it happens in episode 9, but that's pretty much it. Actually, I started watching episode 9 prior to this, but yeah, that's what I could think of would happen the first 8 episodes of Witchcraft Works. Yep, so that's it for this particular review. My next view will be with the 4 remaining episodes of the series, and the one after that will be the OVA. Yeah, the series had an OVA. Yeah. It's something, no, this series was never dubbed. Like, if I would see basically who these characters be if they were dubbed, in the case of Kagri, I could see possibly calling Clicky Bear being this character. Yeah, she'd be absolutely perfect for this character. The main character, Todd Peppercorn. Yeah. The little sister, I could see Lucy Christian basically doing it. Karma Lee would be a good choice. Monica Rail might be an interesting choice, basically, to play a sister. Playing the mother, I would say the woman who played not Mavis, but Mara Jade. She'd be absolutely perfect. But as for Medusa herself, I could possibly see Lucy Christian voice her as well, because she voiced Medusa in Soul Eater, so why not do in this series? But Funimation is the only one I could think of who could probably do this series justice for a dub. You're thinking, wait, then what about Viz Media? Well, in the case of the male lead for the series, I highly doubt Johnny Bosch be interested in something like this, because the character's kind of a wuss, in a way. And Johnny Bosch is known voicing badasses. Yeah, so I could possibly see Funimation take up the if they would dub the series, I could see them take up the role of basically dubbing the series, not Viz Media. That's just my opinion. They probably would do it. They probably have a little better choice basically when it comes to actors. You probably think, wait, what about Christopher Sabat? Who could he voice in the series? Well, I almost forgot. There's this one particular thing I forgot to mention here. Oh yeah, because of the fact that Kasumi's hanging out with the school princess, he has sent tons of death threats. Yeah. And then basically it's like, okay, then apparently like the school council basically doesn't like it at all, with the school president. So she's like, okay, you're fired, and Tasumi here is new school president, and I'm the VP, and the current VP is being demoted to vice president. Yeah, everybody's shocked by it. And of course he's sending more death threats like quit the president position. Yeah, we also have a rebellion happen in the school because the former president told the leader of this rebellious gang a lie. The lie was apparently that it was very implied, like she was implying that Sumi possibly raped her and forced her to basically give a position of student president to him. Yeah, that was a big fat lie. He's not a rapist. And of course they fight in a fist fight in the middle of the school gym. Luckily enough that the Tower Witches and Kagure basically decided to step in and help him out. And of course, all the school sees is him basically being the hero. Yep. Oh yeah, and also the teacher, one of the teachers at school, Miragi, he pops up a couple times. Apparently he loves swearing in the series. Yeah, he has this thing for swearing. And he briefly takes Tiger alone. And of course, Kagure's like, yeah, of course. She basically beats him up and says he's just an enemy and he's a weirdo. Because of course he is. Now you're probably thinking, okay, who from Funimation could voice this guy? I'd say probably Ian St. Clair, probably a good choice. Ian St. Clair or probably Sonny Surratt might be a good choice. Yeah. But you are thinking, wait, if Funimation, like, who would Christopher Sabat voice? Honestly, I have no idea. I don't think because here's the thing, there's not many male characters in the series. Yeah, because the series is heavily populated by women. So I highly doubt he basically voiced the only male character in the series. Yeah. But yeah, not much else to say about the series. These episodes, they're good. I do recommend check out Witchcraft Works. It is an interesting series. Yeah, especially when they animate the robots. It's like, wow. It's like very minimal CGI on the robot bunnies. I thought the robot bunnies were so hilarious. Like, how can robot bunnies be threatening? They're bunnies. Yeah. Yeah, but otherwise, though, that's really it. So stay tuned for my review of episodes 9 through 12 soon, okay? See you next video. Bye.